Welcome to Channelside Bets with your hosts, Nikki Gist, Chip Settle, and L. Bushman.
Whoa, and I'm in the wrong spot. And welcome, everybody, to another episode of Channelside Bets, presented to you by Channelside Sports. Make sure to go to our YouTube page, smash that subscribe and notification bell to get all the new episodes coming out for Channelside Sports, including Main Event, which comes on Wednesdays, and, of course, Channelside Sports in the Morning with Danny Bennett, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are Channelside Bets, coming at you with the best fantasy football and daily fantasy football advice for Week 7 of the NFL season. Good morning, everybody. Nikki, look who's back. Nikki's back. Yay.
Yay.
Yay. Nikki's back. Yay.
All right. I hope you all missed me.
The giant chatter was a little bit less when Evan and I did the show, but it was okay though. We were able to get through it.
It was weird not doing like Giants tallies for like 2 weeks in a row. It was like you mentioned. I was like, I can't tally anything because she's not here. So
I'm gonna make up for it today. So don't worry.
There we go.
All right, everybody. It's Week 7 of the NFL season. Chip, you and I were talking about this last week. How the NFL season is just flying by. Where it's just like, dude, it could be the end of the season at any turn of the moment right now, and it's not.
Yeah.
Good. But we will enjoy it while we last. A couple of huge things went on this week, including a trade of a big name player going to a certain team out west. We will get into that in just a little bit. But let's go into our Thursday night recap of the Arizona Cardinals versus who did they play? I can't even remember now.
Saints.
The Saints. Thank you. All right. It's been a long week for me. I'm going to Mexico tomorrow, so I've been concentrating on that. So the Arizona Cardinals facing the New Orleans Saints. It was a pretty good game. I watched it on Thursday night. Arizona Cardinals really just picked the bones from Andy Dalton with a couple of pick sixes back to back. Yep. DeAndre Hopkins looked pretty much like his old self, having over 100 yards. I know there's a lot of prop bets going on for him to see how many receptions and yards he would have. I know the line was around 63 yards, and he just blew that out of the water, so he's officially back. Wanted to get your guys' thoughts on that matchup, because the quality of the Thursday night games haven't been all that great. So this game, I thought, was a little bit better in play. What did you guys think?
Yeah. More points, the better. I mean, for me, I think 42-34. So anytime you can get that much scoring, obviously, for what we do. Fantasy, Benjamin was a pickup we all talked about, I think, and knew coming into the week, hopefully he'd have a good game. He ended up doing that. So, I like it when points are scored and when games are interesting.
Yeah, certainly better than what did we have last week? Chicago?
Yeah, Chicago and Commanders, I think.
Browns and the Commanders out.
Yes, because I was in Chicago. I was like, yeah, I'm feeling it in the city. No. Horrible.
Not feeling it.
I think even Chicago fans have like the same feeling you do. It's like, the Bears. Yeah. I really thought this was a good game. Al Michaels wasn't roasting anybody on the broadcast too as well. So
except Taylor Swift.
That was a very. Listen, I'm all for self-promotion and marketing during games. It's part of an artist, but it's not really wanted. I mean, did we really need that? Taylor Swift just kind of bulldozing it.
I love her. Yeah, the album's great. If anybody hasn't streamed it yet, hop on Spotify, stream the 3 a.m. version. No, I don't get paid for this, but.
All right, so let's get into the conversation about the fantasy impact of now DeAndre Hopkins is back. Robbie Anderson came over in a trade also this past week. With those two guys now on Kyler Murray's offense, are we going to see more of an exciting offense instead of, because I think so far the Cardinals have been really kind of vanilla when it comes to being an exciting team, because in the past they've been kind of a high-powered offense, and this year they've just been kind of flat and vanilla. With these two guys now, do you think they're going to be going forward to being more of an exciting, more of a big offense juggernaut going forward, or is they just going to be kind of the same?
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to be a juggernaut, but they're definitely going to be more exciting than they have been. Just getting D-Hop on, I mean, he could go to the Chiefs and they're going to be way more exciting, right? And I like Robbie Anderson there. He's a good deep threat. So I think we're going to see more excitement, but I don't know if they're going to, I'm not sold on Arizona yet. Fantasy-wise, yeah, you're probably going to have some great games, but I don't know if they're going to be a juggernaut yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this before, and what I think is Arizona's obviously they were missing a really big piece with D-Hop, and you saw immediate, coming back from being suspended and immediate influx of offense for the team. So I think you'll really get a chance here in the next couple of weeks to see what the offense can do. I agree with Nikki. I don't know if we see a juggernaut offense, but I think you see an offense obviously that's going to realize when you don't have your big play threat, there's only so much talent around you. Zach Ertz has been doing a pretty good job. Benjamin, like we said, has come on and he had a great game against New Orleans. So there's only so much you can get downfield, obviously, without Hop. Now that you have him, it opens up the rest of the offense. So I think in a week or two when he's back, into shape, and it looked like he was in, fine shape when he was playing Thursday night. So a week or two when they get back on the field, get everything back together, you'll definitely see a better offense.
Okay. Let's stay in the division. A big, huge trade, a mega deal came down this past week where Christian McCaffrey was traded to the San Francisco 49ers for draft picks. The San Francisco 49ers get Christian McCaffrey. The Panthers get a second-round pick in 2023, a third-rounder in 2023, and a fourth-round pick in 2023 as well, plus a fifth-rounder in 2024. Let's grade the trade. Let's do the impacts of how Christian McCaffrey is now 49ers over on the West Coast, where he's kind of back where it all began, because he's from Stanford. He's over from the West Coast. He's now in that area too as well. So what were your guys' thoughts about C-Mac going to San Francisco? We kind of knew some trade rumblings going around the past couple of weeks. Now, Buffalo was in the mix. The Rams were in the mix. Did you see San Francisco kind of come out of nowhere and make this trade?
Felt like they kind of came out of nowhere for me, because we kept hearing the Rams, we kept hearing Buffalo, then all of a sudden it was like, oh, here come the 49ers. So to me, that was like, all right, shots fired. We're here. Don't forget about us over here in the division. The Rams have disappointed, which I know we'll touch on a little bit. And I know the Rams and the Niners said they really loved his football IQ. So he's playing. They got a few packages for him, I believe I saw this morning. Yeah. So he's good to go, which is amazing. He's been there 3 days?
Yeah, 3 days. And apparently he's going to be starting today. They've been reports out, I think, from Ian Rappaport that he's going to be doing a lot of goal line work. So if you do have Jeff Wilson and Elijah Mitchell both on the same team, they're pretty much done for the year. So,
well,
make some
he has to stay healthy.
That's true. But for I think for now, they're going to be kind of fantasy irrelevant after this week going forward. So make some trades like I did, which we'll get into in a minute.
You got to see, and then you got to ask yourself, the Niners, the way they run things, they swap running backs. Now, obviously, bringing over McCaffrey, you're probably going to see a lot more, but Carolina utilized him the most. He had the most touches, so his use was off the charts. I don't know if we're going to see the same usage, obviously stat-wise, that we saw for fantasy football for him in San Fran. Obviously not today. He's only been with the organization 3 days. Doesn't know the playbook. They do have packages for him, so yes, he is going to play today, but I don't know. We'll have to see. Kyle Shanahan, like the offense that he runs, this is like tailor-made for Christian McCaffrey. You're looking at short passes, screens, one-offs, hitting him in the flat, letting him, create. So it's going to be really tailor-made to him, but it'll be interesting. And Nikki, you already said it, injuries. If you get out there and within the first game or two, you use him a lot, and either he re-aggravates something, which hopefully he doesn't, or he does get injured, then you're up stuff creek without a paddle. Whoops, we're a podcast. We can say that.
You can say shit. Come on.
My fault.
It's all right.
So,
you can say shit.
It's the radio when we were El Bush.
You didn't go
more
Marshawn Lynch, so that's okay. You guys saw that clip?
So having him be on that offense now, it really kind of makes it more creative too, because of with the other playmakers on the roster too as well. Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, and George Kittle. it really kind of changes the offensive scheme. Do you guys think it's going to be more dangerous now that C-Mac is over there because of the way they can just kind of be more creative with that offense now?
Oh yeah, I think so. They definitely literally upped their game with this trade, which by the way, I thought the trade was a win-win for everybody. Carolina is a mess. They absolutely need to start rebuilding this team and do it through the draft and get some young talent. San Francisco's in win now mode. I really think all around win-win for everybody.
Yeah, I was just about to go into that. Well, let's do our grades for the trade. How would you grade these trades? Give the grade for San Francisco. What would you grade them?
A.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say B+, but it all depends. We know that this year he prorated his salary, so he's not making a lot. I think next year he jumps to 12 or 13 million. So, I mean, it's all in the future. For win now mode, like you said, Nikki, which San Francisco, I think, is definitely in. For this year, you're definitely B+, I think A territory.
Okay. And obviously, they would be crazy enough just to do this as a rental. Obviously, San Francisco is probably going to restructure and get him extended beyond this season as well. Okay. On the Carolina side, how would you grade this trade for them? They got a massive haul back, and Nikki, as you just said, they are in rebuilding mode. Obviously, there have been calls fielded for other players on the Panthers as well. They might be dealt to before the deadline. So give us the grade for Carolina's haul back with all those picks.
Yeah, I think same thing. B+ A territory. I mean, right now, just fire sale. Just go. Just get rid of it all. Get all these draft picks and rebuild.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you pretty much turned the lights out. The party's over in Carolina for this year. You traded your best offensive player. Guys, unfortunately, like DJ Moore, who are going to have to – it looks like they're not going to get rid of him. I know they've been fielding calls, and they seem pretty adamant on not dealing him. But I kind of agree with Nikki. I would kind of be like, this is over. This is done. Get what you can for DJ Moore. They wanted a first for McCaffrey. They weren't going to get it because of his injury history, I don't think. Moore, you might get a team who might cough up a first for him. The Packers, if you need a wide receiver right now and you need to win and you've got your aging quarterback, you've got a good backfield, your defense hasn't really showed up, you might be able to get a first from one of these teams that need a wide receiver.
Chip, the Packers don't like bringing over star wide receivers for Aaron Rodgers. You know that.
Well, I mean, hey, it's come on. If you're in Green Bay right now, you're looking at where we are in the season. You're going, holy cow! I think they're 3-3 right now, and they go to a team today. I think who, I can't remember who they're playing today, but it's a game that they can win, but obviously they got to find consistency in their offense. They haven't done that yet. So bringing in a wide receiver might take some pressure off Aaron Rodgers and give the defense a chance to get going.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get into another trade, and this would be a personal trade of mine. I made a trade last night, and this was not me going out fishing. Some guy I was at Howl-O-Scream last night in Busch Gardens, saw my phone had an alert. It kept going off. I was like, what was going on in ESPN Fantasy? Somebody making trades? I look at my phone and it's a trade offer. Now I'll pull it up on the screen so everybody can take a look. This is what the trade was. Give me 1 second.
So Green Bay's playing the Commanders. I think you said that, Nikki. So the Green Bay should win that football game, but if your offense sputters today, I would look at DJ Moore.
All right, there is the trade offer. Obviously, I did accept it. The trade offer was I'm going to receive Dameon Pierce and Justin Jefferson, and I traded away Josh Allen and Jalen Waddle. Now, looking at my team, I did see first he presented to me as, hey, I'll give you Dameon Pierce and T. Higgins. I was like, nah. I was like, that's not really an upgrade for me at wide receiver at all. Upgrade, of course, for running back because I have Jeff Wilson and his time is pretty much past because of the trade for Christian McCaffrey.
Right.
So went back, kind of pondered everything, kind of sweet talked him a little bit, and then he offered this, which I accepted. This not only gives me an upgrade at the wide receiver position because now I have Justin Jefferson and Devontae Adams, but I also have an upgrade on running back. So now I have Joe Mixon and Dameon Pierce. So I want you to criticize, critique, give me a grade for this trade, and if I should have made it or not.
I guess my only concern really with CMC there, again, it's like Chip said with the usage, like, is he going to stay healthy? I'd be concerned for you that, like, in a couple weeks, like maybe he's not being utilized that much and they're still getting some of these backs in, or maybe he gets hurt, but
that's okay. But Nikki, that's okay though, because I still have Jeff Wilson. So if I needed him to be a flex, I can stick him in there.
Who did you get rid of?
I got rid of just Josh Allen and Jalen Waddle. I still have all my regular running backs. I just upgraded on my wide receivers with Justin Jefferson replacing Jalen Waddle.
I think the only scary thing for me is you traded the number one ranked person in fantasy.
I know.
So that's the scary thing. And also you're getting, I don't know if he's the top wide receiver after Jamar Chase's game this past week, but Jefferson's probably a 1 or a 2. Pierce has had a really good season, but also looking forward into the playoffs, I always tend to look at schedules. So Houston will probably be out of it, so Pierce will probably play a lot. Jefferson might get rested because he's a good player, and if Minnesota is cruising along, he might not play towards the end of the year. Josh Allen, obviously, you would think the same thing. Buffalo's going to coast, so he might not be playing. But on the surface, you got better in 2 positions. You did trade the most dynamic player in fantasy. So who's your backup? Who's your okay?
So this is my current roster before the trade. This is what I have. And I did pick up Marcus Mariota last night just to have a backup quarterback in place.
Okay.
So Derek Carr is now my number 1 QB, which I have concerns about, of course, because it is Derek Carr. He's been kind of off and on this season. But I also had Devontae Adams, which is double the points. So
true.
With that connection.
I think on the surface, you got better in 2 positions, and obviously you downgraded in a quarterback position, but you have someone that can still score a lot of points, and you also have a stack with Devontae Adams and Carr.
Right. Okay. So how would you grade my trade?
B.
Okay.
I like it. It's just you don't ever hear of trades for the number 1 player in fantasy football. It's rare. So on the surface, I looked at it and I went, holy crap, he just traded Josh Allen. But
I know.
You got better in 2 positions, which is good, and you got more depth. So that's good to win.
Nikki, what is your grade for my trade?
Yeah, no, I think you did good. I think it's a great example, actually, of not being afraid to really entertain trades that come your way to upgrade in certain spots. Yeah, when you look at it, and you sent it to us last night, it's like, damn, Josh Allen, really?
Actually, no, your reaction was, "Q." That was your reaction.
But I did forget about the CMC trade, so it makes sense. I think you did a good job there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm pretty happy with it. Hopefully it works out. I'm 4-2 in my league, so we'll see. The guy that traded me is 2-4, so it's the opposite of me. So we'll see how he does. Yeah, I was a little gun shy because Josh Allen has been kind of carrying my team for the past few weeks, and it's like if I'm going to be trading him away, I need to get upgrades on the kind of my weakest areas, which has been the running back position and in the also too because of wide receivers. And Waddle's been, and I think it's not Waddle's fault. He has been injured like a week or so, but like it's not his fault that the quarterback situation there in Miami has been kind of, injuries. It's just been injuries to Tua, injuries to Bridgewater. So it's not his fault. His production's kind of been on the decline for right now. So I had to trade for necessity in a sense. So that's what I got. All right, let's get into it. Week news for the NFL, and then NFL news with Nikki. Let's go.
Wow.
That was a mouthful.
Oh, that was good. No. So of course we know Christian McCaffrey over to the 49ers. Yes, it looks like he is good to go and going to be able to play with some of the packages they have for him. So props to him. He's only been there 3 days and already immersed himself in the playbook, he said. What else do we have going on in the trade rumor? If you guys saw it this morning, Adam Schefter tweeted out about 8:00 our time, Eastern time. Broncos are receiving multiple trade inquiries about Bradley Chubb, Jerry Jeudy, and KJ Hamler. But the Broncos will not go low bid on this. So they're going to be asking for a lot. So we'll see what happens there. And if you have J.K. Dobbins, sorry, he is going under for knee scoping. Looks like he's out 4 to 6 weeks, but they did activate Gus Bus. So maybe that is an option for you. And that's about it. Rest of it is injury related.
It's a weird situation in Denver. Are they already trying to pull the plug on that team already because of just what's been going on? Is Nathaniel Hackett pretty much the one and done coach for this year?
Oh, I think so. How does he come back?
I don't know. Unless he's got dirt on the owners, I don't know. I really don't.
I just don't think, and we've talked about it, to have the ingredients that they have as a team. And at the beginning of the year, that was the one spot I felt Russell Wilson, like we said, changing positions and going to a different team, learning a different playbook, having a different language. That's tough. It takes time. But Russell Wilson has just been horrible when it comes to that. He will not be playing today, which is obviously, we'll talk about it a little bit later. But he'll be out. Rippon will make his start to this year. But yeah, if you're Denver, I don't know if I'd fire sell Denver, but I would definitely, if your teams obviously that need an upgrade, there are a couple pieces there that you could get that would change your team, especially at the wide receiver position.
It's so crazy how where we're at with the Broncos too, because there was so much hype with them coming into the season. Like, they got their quarterback. That's hopefully going to take them to the next level. And it's just been, a disaster over there. And it's funny how ever since John Elway brought in Peyton Manning, and after Peyton Manning left the Broncos, it's just been with QBs and the way the team has been playing. So maybe it's the curse of Peyton Manning. Did
you guys hear rumors about Chase Claypool?
I heard some rumors that he might be traded.
Oh,
there was one other team. They were starting to dial the Steelers. I think wasn't Green Bay. It was another team that needs a wide receiver, but a lot of names getting thrown around, obviously, towards the trade deadline, which is November 1st, I think. So still have a little bit of time. Mm-hmm. What other teams? I know off the top of my head, if the Falcons, who are doing really well, 3-3, could get one more wide receiver.
Chip, I think actually you were right. The Packers were interested in bringing over Chase Claypool.
Was it?
Yeah, the Packers were in that conversation about trading for him. But like we said before, Packers, they're not going to bring over talent for Aaron Rodgers. They won't do that to him.
Why would they do? The Giants need a wide receiver. I don't.
No, that's number one.
There you go.
There's one.
There we go. Mark it down. I know it's been a couple weeks. No, the Giants really do. I mean, I don't know how they're winning games with literally nobody, but okay, I'll take it.
I think that's a good, if you're wide receivers right now, which there are several obviously that have been talked about that could get out. OBJ obviously still out there. We heard that he's looking around for things, but a lot of teams need that extra piece of wide receiver. And if you're the Giants and me personally, Nikki, if I'm the Giants and I am where I am in the standings, I'm securing that extra piece and I'm riding this out because they found something in what they have up there in New York, and you just got to keep that going, keep it moving forward.
Yeah.
It's how long has it been since Giants and buyers have been in the same sentence for the trade deadline? It's been a while, right?
A long time. A really long time. The problem is the $72 million man, Kenny Golladay. It's just awful. I would take OBJ back, and he's very cryptic on Twitter, but
hasn't he been back to the Giants facility a couple of times in the past few weeks? And I think he tweeted out something the other day where, like, it's good to be back or something like that, or I'll see you soon. I think he tweeted out something like that. So do you think the reunion would be good for him to come back to where it all started?
Listen, I'm here for it. I mean, I know he's like very polarizing. I like the personality. I like the diva personality. He was in the building to see his, Sterling Shepard because they are like best friends.
They're boys.
And he didn't have an official meeting, but he does keep hinting that he would like to come home.
Okay.
I'm just worried. Your team chemistry. Do you think like what you have right now in that locker room is good? It's special. Like they're finding a way to put everything together. So would you be scared to have? What happens if you bring another piece in and that milk sours?
I know.
How's the locker room going to feel?
I know. It's always the risk you take. But I do have faith in Brian Daboll and this coaching staff.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And Chip, do we have any injuries out? Does the report come out yet for the injuries?
Yeah, there's as we have discussed multiple weeks now, there are a lot of injuries. So you're not expected to play right now. Johan Dotson, DeAndre Swift, Baker Mayfield, obviously still out for Carolina. Your rules out right now. We have J.K. Dobbins, Julio Jones, DJ Chark, Kadarius Toney, Christian Watson, Logan Thomas, Kenny Golladay, Randall Cobb, Jamal Agnew, Cameron Brate, Darren Waller, not expected to play today. Russell Wilson, obviously, we talked about that with a hamstring. Elijah Moore, another wide receiver who's been mentioned in trade talks. Joshua Palmer and Joshua Kelly, both for the Los Angeles Chargers. ruled out. So game time decisions, Josh Reynolds, Keenan Allen, and Jalen Waddle are guys that are game time.
And the list keeps growing and growing every single week.
So, those are limited times. Some important ones that are expected to play right now, Mac Jones is expected to go. Mark Andrews, Rashad Bateman is expected to go. And Seattle, Tyler Lockett.
So I don't want Mac Jones to start. So I didn't know this, but Bleacher Report has something now where it's like a game where you can win like a $500 gift card where they do prop bets.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the prop bets was, will Mac Jones start or Bailey Zapp start? And I put Zapp. So I want Mac Jones to not set foot on that field right now. So
okay, we'll let him know. Okay,
I'm
sure they'll.
Will you send him a tweet? Send him a tweet, Nikki. Tell him not to start today. You need one more week of rest, and you need to stay away from the field.
No problem. I'm on it right after we get off the show. Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Put a notification on your phone. There you go.
Yes.
How shitty does Baker Mayfield feel right now? Like I got traded to a new team and like my team sucks. Like I traded from a sucky team to another sucky team, and my team on right now is just it's a fire sale. Like I'd be pissed. I'd be like, what the hell, man? Baker.
Yeah.
Baker.
God, he's gotten an unfortunate hand dealt to him, really.
It's almost like he's on that Josh Rosen level. Where Rosen just got bounced from team to team and just had bad luck with teams, and the Baker's just like, nah, I'm on a even shittier team now.
I feel like now he's going to the back of my mind. He's entering the category of like a Matt Flynn or like and even though, the problem is though, Baker was a starter and he was decent and he could win some games, but it just seems like now he just can't put it back together. Now, granted, the teams he's been on obviously have been teams that are pragmatic and don't have a lot of things going on. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe he can rebound and end up somewhere better. Who knows?
All right, let's get into our performances from week 6 for our prospective teams, the Giants, Falcons, and the Bucks. Nikki, how were your Giants last week?
They were great. Yes, it was. No, they didn't start out great. Here's the thing with the Giants. They don't usually start out the greatest, but they are excellent at second half adjustments. This defense is coming together. If anybody listened to Kayvon Thibodeau about 2 weeks ago in his press conference, he did tell us, hey, listen, a lot of us were injured. We're all starting to come back together. So really it's like the second, third time they're all kind of on the field together. Ravens had some penalties that worked against them. Giants were able to capitalize and, they're not turning the ball over. So minimizing mistakes. We're not turning the ball over. No, we don't have any wide receivers, but Bellinger has been great. He's getting some great blocking in for Saquon Barkley. Listen, and Daniel Jones is doing what he can with the talent that he has. I'm a little upset at the disrespect that's going on for this week, but all in all, we're 5-1. We beat the Ravens. I went to the game. I'm married to a Ravens fan. We're still married, so all is great.
Was the drive home? Was there silence from your husband, or was it
good question?
Were you gloating so much in the car where he was just like, I gotta get out of the car?
Yeah, well, a lot of the fans took care of that for me. We didn't know how to act. We're like, oh my God, we're 5-1. So it's like, everybody's saying something. So that's okay, because I've gone to many games where the Ravens beat the Giants, and then we were in Baltimore. So it sucks, but just like a boneheaded play by Lamar there and a lot of penalties. So
just the awkward silence in that car ride home.
Right. And you're sitting in MetLife traffic in Jersey. So you're just sitting there like, okay, like, so what do you want for dinner?
Shut up. Shut up. Chip, your Falcons won huge last week against San Francisco.
Buddy, 28-14. I got to tell you, the Falcons just hang around.
Yeah.
And I mean, they just kind of stay within shouting distance, and that's kind of been their MO. They've been underdogs in every single game that they've won this year. Great running the ball, great defensive effort, and just keep doing what you're doing. You're finding ways to win. They have a good rushing attack. Algiers has been really good. Yeah. Cordero Patterson's hurt right now, and they're still finding ways to win, which is good. So keep getting after the quarterback. I think that the team will continue to grow each week. Pitts is hopefully going to continue to be in the offensive mix. But yeah, they've been running the ball great. So let's just keep doing that.
I think obviously we kind of, you touched on this a little bit ago, like they could go out and be a buyer and bring in like another that piece of that puzzle for the offense too, to kind of put it over the top. So, how long do we have for this show? The show's an hour, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't my rant about the Buccaneers last week, losing to the Steelers 20-18, which I kind of knew in the back of my mind this was going to go happen, because usually the Bucs don't get well against rookie quarterbacks. Which obviously Kenny Pickett was taken out of the game because of a concussion injury, but then Mitchell Trubisky came in, and another week of the Bucs offense is stagnant, vanilla, and it has no identity whatsoever. And to see Tom Brady just rip into his offensive line on the sidelines, which that clip went viral so many times, it kind of summed up the season so far, and up to week 6, where yes, that is what your megastar GOAT quarterback should be doing to your offensive line, is just ripping them to shreds because they're not doing their job. And they just looked horrendous last week. And I don't know what I don't really know what they need to do, because there's been so much, after the game, Todd Bowles saying, look, we've got a bunch of guys that still have that pat on the back from 2 years ago from the Super Bowl. And it's like, hey, maybe some tough love could do it for these guys that I think a lot of the younger guys maybe need to step up and be the big time leaders, because I think that's what needs to happen. Because right now I wouldn't be surprised if Atlanta takes over that division and wins the NFC South, because the Bucs right now don't deserve to win that division. Yeah, I'll say it. Because I mean, with their upcoming schedule for the Bucs, it's still, to me, I thought this team would go 12, maybe 13-4, but they've got the Panthers should be a cakewalk. It should be a cakewalk win. But then you've got the Ravens and the Rams, which that's scary right there. And look, man, I wouldn't be surprised if this team ends up 500. I wouldn't be surprised.
Did you have a problem with Brady losing it? Because this came up on my other podcast, and I don't know, I'd probably lose my shit too. Everybody.
No, I you know what, Nikki, I didn't have a problem with it, because I think that's what you want to expect out of a megastar, like your starting quarterback in general. And we've seen many videos. Look, I remember seeing that clip of Peyton Manning ripping into Jeff Saturday on the sidelines like that. That was a long time ago when he was on the Colts. And I think that's what you need. If you're a quarterback and you are the general of that offense, you need to have some kind of accountability. If you're not playing well, you should be able to get called out by your quarterback. And I know there's been lots of injuries with the offensive line. There's been reshuffling, but it's just the level of playing is not there. And they did get some good news back this week where Ryan Jensen could be coming back in November, which could be a shot in the arm that they needed. But other than that, going forward, it's just the level of playing needs to get better, because it's so hard to. It almost reminds me of the level of playing when Jameis was there. That's what it reminds me of. And then we're reverting back to that. Maybe Byron Leftwich is the problem for play calling. Maybe they should let Brady call the plays, because it's just been vanilla play calling. It's try to run it up the gut, 1, 2, and 3, and then we'll throw it on third down. It's just that, to me, it's just, you have so many weapons on the team, you're not utilizing them at all. Mike and Chip, you talked about this before the show, where the Mike Evans, Tom Brady, connection should be a feather in your cap, and it's been just
for
nothing.
fantasy.
Yeah,
well, they're just a different team. They're missing interior linemen that they had last year. Your starting center got injured. I mean, this is just a different team. And Tom Brady, even though for all the accolades and everything he's done, you got to have the line to protect him. Tom Brady is not a mobile quarterback. He cannot move around. He cannot shuffle. Mm-hmm. And when you have penetration up the middle of the line, that's the quickest way to the quarterback. And so that if you don't have a running game or you can't get anything started to take that pressure off, you become one-dimensional as an offense. And teams can scheme against that. Teams can play against that. The Buccaneers obviously have a ton of weapons, but if you can't do one thing, you only can do the other. They can scheme against that.
I think, look, and today where I said this game should be a cakewalk for them against the Carolina Panthers, but they could struggle against the Panthers. They do have a lot of injuries on the other side of the ball. Logan Ryan, I think, is out. with a fractured foot, so he's going to be out for the rest of the season. Sean Murphy-Bunting is out today as well, and Carlton Davis is out. So you have more injuries piling up on the team where, going against a really bad team that's going into fire sale mode could come out and just maybe punch you in the gut and upset you. So
look out for Carolina. Derek Brooks, guy from Auburn in the middle, huge mammoth tackle for Carolina. If he is in the backfield all day, good Lord, might be a long day for Tom Brady.
I wouldn't be surprised, man, at all. All right, let's go into our last segment before we get into our Week 7 DFS and fantasy football. Team disappointments and team surprises. Which teams have surprised you the most, and which teams have been the biggest disappointments so far this year? Let's go into surprises. Who surprised you the most? And I think the team that's probably going to come up first is Nikki's team, the Giants. Am I correct? Okay, there we go. Okay.
Mark it down. What do we got? 2. Mark one down for the Jets, too, because I'm repping New York all day today. It's not just because I live here, but honestly, both of these teams won 4 games last year each. Yep. And Giants have won 5. Jets have, 4 wins already? Like, that Jets defense is really coming along. So everybody's amped up here. Except, you know what? Now I'm seeing these fans come out of the woodwork. Like, I hate these bandwagon fans, right? Like, where were you for the past 10 years? Because it's been friggin' painful. So, in fact, I personally know people who are just like, oh, I'm a Giants fan now. It's like, no, what are you talking about? No, you weren't. How? When? So, I would say the New York teams are definitely have been the surprise team so far for the year.
Chip?
I mean, I'm going to stay away from my Atlanta Falcons, and I'm just going to say Seattle, because I got to tell you, I'm sure I picked yours, Evan, which is fine. You can just say the Falcons, which is fine.
I will. Since you're picking the Seahawks, which I was going to pick, I'll say the Falcons. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Seattle. Everybody totally was like Geno Smith. Well done. Not even going to make an impact.
Yeah.
Been one of the most consistent quarterbacks in the NFL this year. Has kept DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett fantasy relevant. Their upcoming Kenneth Walker III draft pick, who's another guy who's really starting to come on. And they've held the ship together when everybody thought it was going to go under when Russell Wilson left. So Seattle, big surprise.
All right, so since Chip, you took mine, I'll say your Atlanta Falcons.
There you go.
Which I think during the offseason, even including yourself, that you didn't know if this team was even going to be able to compete in the NFC South with the Buccaneers. And so far, they've been surprisingly good. I mean, the offense of what you guys had, the run game's been going pretty well. I think, like I said to you before, I think they just need one more piece of that puzzle that could really kind of take them over that hump. So, the Atlanta Falcons have really just been surprising the hell out of a lot of people this year. So let's go into team disappointments. I will go first. And I think I'm not going to go say the Bucs because I kind of knew this was going to happen anyways. I'm going to say the Las Vegas Raiders. New head coach. They brought in, they traded for Devontae Adams, which we all thought was going to make that, offense really a high-powered deal. They've got him on the other side of the ball. And that whole division in general, I think we all thought was just going to be a massive, massive division. And so far, it's been really mediocre and almost below par right now with them and the Broncos just being goo, as we say on this show. Yeah. So I thought the Las Vegas Raiders would be in the thick of it. So far, they only have one freaking win. The Las Vegas Raiders are my disappointment team for this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll keep it there. The Chargers have disappointed me. This is the thing. When you podcast, you put your picks out there for everyone to hear and your predictions. I mean, I had them at like 13 wins. It's like, oh, that's it. They're running away. No. I'm a little disappointed with them.
Denver for me. I was really a big proponent of Russell Wilson. And I really felt, even though, like we said, going to a different team, learning a new playbook, I really felt he could pick it up and kind of make things happen. He had a better offensive line for the first time in his career. And I mean, it has not panned out. I really was banking on him for fantasy, and look, I got some egg on my face so far. So.
Wait, wasn't there that one week where you just went all in on Denver?
Yes, I have been the biggest. I said the Denver offense, and now I haven't done that since because that has been just a culmination of horrible picks that have happened. So Denver, Russell Wilson, huge disappointment.
I saw the other day on, I think it was Twitter, that Subway did pull his his really awkward, cringy commercial that he did.
Oh, no.
Yeah, they pulled it. So, all right, those have been our team surprises and disappointments. Let's get into our heroes and villains from last week. All right, who are our heroes? I know every week I love playing that. Who are our heroes and villains from last week? Chip, who do you got for heroes first?
Matt Ryan, from the ashes of the Phoenix, coming up 32 points, I think, if you had a half-point PPR, but just unbelievable winning. Just do it, Matt Ryan. Go be you, buddy.
Yes. I love it. That's not my hero, but I love it because I was all in on him in the off season, and I was looking like a real idiot. But I said by week 6 he might pull it together. How about Jalen Hurts? My God, he's like RB19 at this point. He's averaging 13 points, fantasy points alone, just on the ground, just running. So if you got Jalen Hurts, good on you.
All right, who do we have for villains for last week? Villains.
Same, it's different verse, same as the first. Russell Wilson, you dorkfish. I mean, you're a dorkfish. So they get 13, 12 points, something like that. But yeah, dud.
Yeah, I have 2 here. I'm really disgusted with Cortland Sutton and Tyler Higbee. You really just, again, doing me dirty here at like 2 friggin' points.
I have for a villain from last week, I have Jeff Wilson Jr., who got 0.5 points last week in fantasy.
Massive dud.
Good job, buddy. So he was my villain from last week. And then I'll go with Michael Pittman Jr. Stay with Chip with your Indianapolis Colts. Michael Pittman Jr. was a hero last week with 14.4 fantasy points. So he's putting up some big numbers, Michael Pittman Jr. So heroes and villains for last week. Hopefully week 7 we'll see a little bit different this week. All right. So let's go into our matchups and our lines for week 7. Let me pull up our week 7 lines and lineups. Give me 1 second here. Courtesy of DraftKings. Make sure to go to DraftKings and set your lineups for today, and make sure to bet responsibly too as well. All right, our first matchup today is the Cleveland Browns going against the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens, of course, losing last week against your New York Football Giants, Nikki. The line is a 6.5 point favorite for the Ravens, and the over-under is 46.5. What do we like for this matchup?
Nothing. I try not to touch divisional games unless the matchup is really, really good. But at the AFC North division, I don't know. I could just see this, like, I could see Cleveland winning somehow. It's going to be like a screwy game, I feel like.
I feel like the only thing I would take in this one, I agree with Nikki, divisional games are tough. I would take the over in this one, and that's probably about it.
Okay.
6.5 points, obviously dangerous line. That half-point hook is a killer. So I like the over, and that's about the only thing I like in this one.
All right, our next matchup, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going against the Carolina Panthers. I like nothing about this. Like, because last week they gave the Buccaneers a 10 points, and they didn't do that. No, 13. I'm not even nothing about this. I like nothing about this.
That's a huge line. That's huge.
Yeah, 13.
There's no way.
No. With the way the Bucs are going right now, I love the under.
Yeah, all in on the under for this one. Yeah.
Let's move on. It puts a sour taste in my mouth talking about this. All right, Chip, your Atlanta Falcons are going against the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals coming in as a 6.5 point favorite, and the over under is 48.
I got to tell you, you know what? I like the 6.5. I like the Falcons getting it. I think the Bengals win, but I think the Falcons cover.
Okay.
Ooh, no way. No, my lock of the week is that Cincinnati covers.
You like that?
Yeah, I do.
Dude, the Falcons have been really close, and they just always hang around. But yeah, we'll see. I think Cincinnati wins, but I think it'll be tighter than 6.5. So
the Cincinnati is the second longest streak covering against the spread. And in their last 6 home games, they're 5-1 against the spread.
Ooh,
there you go.
All right. The Detroit Lions going against the Dallas Cowboys.
This is another tough one. 7 points between both these teams.
I'm so pulling for the Lions, but
they hurt me too bad.
Backdoor cover, guys. They always backdoor cover, but I feel like Dak is going to be. He's back, right? So I feel like just a better team. I don't have a lot of faith in Jared Goff. Not that I necessarily like this, but I think I would say the Cowboys would cover.
The Lions do get Amon-Ra St. Brown back and Jamal Williams. I mean, obviously they've had a couple weeks off for rest because they had a bye week last week, so they should be well rested against the Cowboys.
Swift is still inactive. So.
He is officially inactive today. So Westwood One, a Detroit Lions kind of broadcasting team up in Detroit, had put out a contest where if you can do the best Dan Campbell impression, you can win 2 tickets to the Packers Lions game, front row.
Wow.
I think I might do it.
All right, do it.
Do it.
Got to be in.
All right. November 3rd is the deadline, so I've got plenty of time.
You got a little time, yeah.
Yeah, I've got a little time. All right, the New York Football Giants are going against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jaguars coming in as a 3-point favorite.
This line is confusing to me as a person. I stay away from this entire game because of it, and it's just confusing. You're 2-4 Jacksonville, and you're favored. You're -3.
Are they playing in Jacksonville? Is that maybe why?
They are.
Yeah, but you're a 2-4 football team. This is just number. Looking at this, you go, wait a minute. I'm so confused. So I don't know.
Me too. I'm confused as well because Jacksonville has lost 18 straight to NFC teams.
Look at that.
So,
So yeah, I don't know. This is all confused. I've ridden with the Giants, and I lost once, but I've won twice. So this is going against Vegas and every bone in my body. I think I'm just going to take the Giants.
Me too.
And, just see what the story is. That's going to be my deal. So
it's bottling everybody's minds right now.
It is because it's weird. You don't see a 2-4 team be a favorite against a 5-1. That just doesn't, that you don't see that.
You really can't justify them because it's a home game too, because the Jags don't really have that much of a crowd. So you can't put. I don't. Maybe they messed up. Maybe this is like a mess up on Vegas, and they're just like, hey, we'll just throw a curveball.
A lot of money will be thrown at this game, so it'll be interesting to see the outcome because people are your amateur bettors and people like, kind of like me are gonna look at that and they go, well, that's backwards. Right. So I think a lot of people are gonna lay on the Giants. So if Jacksonville ends up winning, that'll be interesting. Maybe we take a look at that and see what Vegas says about it next week before the show.
All right, we'll go into a divisional game. The Indianapolis Colts going against the Tennessee Titans. Titans coming in as a 2.5-point favorite. The over-under is 43. I like this all the way.
Yeah?
I do.
I really do. I think.
I like the over. I could see the over hitting on this.
I like Indy on this. I think Tennessee is kind of. They've lost some defensive pieces, and I think Indianapolis' defense can step up today and take King Henry out. So, I think with Treylon Burks still, you got Bobby Trees with Tannehill, who might have a good game if they can stop Derrick Henry from running the ball, which is tough to do. I like Indy in this one.
Okay. All right, the Packers going against the Washington Commanders. Ugh.
Come on, you know what you're gonna say. Just go ahead and say it, please.
I'll let you go, Nikki. You can take it.
Come on.
Great. No one wants. All right, Packers. Give me Packers all across. Let's go. They have to bounce back. I mean, this is the matchup to do it.
I'm gonna take the Commanders with the points because I think with Taylor Heineke back. I think that's the shot in the arm they need. A Heineke.
Yeah,
I think Heineke's gonna. I think Heineke's gonna. They're gonna win over the Packers with Heineke back. Even though, look, I know they're paying Carson Wentz a god awful amount of money.
Well,
Heineke played well when he was under.
I know. Oh no. So tell me this: if Green Bay loses this, it's panic button time, right?
Yeah, I was
panic button in Lambeau.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And if I'm Aaron Rodgers, I'm probably like. I'm gonna even drink even more ayahuasca and just get loaded.
Might as
well.
well.
There you go.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take the Commanders in the points on this one, and maybe the under 41.5.
God, that's a
I'll take.
I would take the over on that one, but
yeah.
Hey,
I'm gonna take the points in the under on that one for the Commanders.
There you go.
All right, the Jets and the
This is, folks, with Brett Rippon, 36 and a half. I mean,
I like the under. I'm all in on the under for this.
I do too.
Lock that in.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think give me some JETS.
Yeah.
Dude, ride the train, obviously, at 1.5. I think their defense can have another big game, and I think they can be ready. Brees Hall, Rookie of the Year.
Yep.
Yeah.
Offensive Rookie of the Year. Wow.
Chances that Elijah Moore is kind of disgruntled right now because he hasn't really been utilized. Chances him being dealt at the trade deadline. I know the Jets have been kind of firm on him not getting traded, but I just don't know why. He was an offensive juggernaut. Why am I saying juggernaut a lot on today's show? He was, really awesome in fantasy last year. I don't know why they haven't utilized him the way they could last year. And maybe that's because of Zach Wilson. I don't know if he doesn't just fit in the scheme.
Well, you had Joe Flacco, who relied a lot on tight ends, and you swap quarterbacks, and that means you got to get back in favor. So Zach Wilson obviously likes Conklin, tight end, and some other players. So I don't know. We'll see. I think he stays with the Jets. They won't get rid of him. He's too young. He's shown some promise, so I don't think he's going anywhere.
All right, our next matchup, the Houston Texans going against the disappointing Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders coming in as a 7-point favorite with the over-unders 46.5.
Over. Especially Davis Mills gets going. I could totally see that. I could see a shootout happening here. Yeah.
I'm digging the over, and Las Vegas Raiders ranked worst, I think, in passing defense. I think they're 32nd. So give me some Davis Mills, give me some Nico Collins, give me some Brandon Cooks in the kitchen. Yeah. Just give me the Chuck and Duck today, like Davis Mills.
Yeah, I like it.
All right. The Seahawks and the Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers 5-point favorite and the over-under 51.
Dude, this is one of these games.
This is a tough matchup for me because
you like that? What are you gonna do?
I'm almost tempted to take the Seahawks with the +5.
Well, don't be scared, Evan.
I'm not.
That's what I'm going to tell you.
I'm not going to be scared on this. You know what? I'll take the Seahawks and +5, and I'll take the over. You want to get that? Is that your phone? Whose phone is that?
Not mine.
Not mine. Chip, is that your phone?
Hey, I've got faxes coming over. I got injury reports.
Okay, he's got injury reports coming over.
Okay.
You know what? I'm going to take the Seahawks +5, and I'm going to take the over on the 51.
It's the Patriots. They're making sure that Mac Jones isn't starting. We're in communication. So
that's right. Okay.
I told you.
All right. What do you guys think about this matchup?
Just be scared. Just everybody run for the hills.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
What do you got? What are we going to say?
I said I'm going to take the Seahawks +5 and over 51.
I mean, I was sitting here bragging about Geno Smith, biggest shock of the world. I thought the Chargers would have everything well in hand already. I can't talk my way out of that though, because I'm going to stick with the Chargers. Because I'm a scared person. So there you go.
Don't be scared.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm ready to take the Seahawks, so I'll stick with the Chargers on this one.
Okay, that's fine. Hey, that's fine. It's betting. It's fine. All right, the Chiefs and the 49ers. We will see the debut of Christian McCaffrey today against the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs are a -1 favorite. Over under is 49.
Ugh. I don't want to touch this one. I think the under, though, not by much, but I think the under might hit here.
Okay.
I like the under. I think, man, Kyle Shanahan is salivating to get a guy like Christian McCaffrey in the backfield. I think I think Kansas City wins the football game. But I think we see a little preview. I bet the San Francisco offense is going to start to heat up. They get Mike McGlinchey back today, starting tackle. They also get Bosa back today. Hold on to your hats. This should be a really good game. But I'll take Kansas City right now. But San Francisco, I think, could pull it out.
Prop bet for you two. How many touchdown over-under today for Christian McCaffrey? Over 2 or under 2?
Under 2.
Under
2.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Our matinee matchup today, the Steelers and the Dolphins. Dolphins, a 7.5-point favorite with the over-under is 44.5. Tua Tagovailoa will be back today, starting under center for the Miami Dolphins offense. What do you guys think? Kenny Pickett is out for today's matchup, so Mitchell Trubisky will be starting for the Steelers. I'm assuming yes, because he is still in concussion protocol. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
Okay.
what you got to do. I mean, you got to. I'm just wondering what Tua are we getting? Are we going to get head scramble Tua, or are we going to get I'm back from a concussion and everything's fine? So
I don't know. From what he was saying, he doesn't remember anything from that game.
well, great.
I'm
That makes me feel warm and fuzzy.
I'm concernicus about how much mush is up in his brain right now, because if he doesn't remember that game and what happened, I hope he can remember anything at all. That's what I'm concerned about.
Very concerning.
Yeah.
All right, give me the I'm gonna take the Steelers on the points on this one.
Okay.
She's taking Steelers. God love her. I'm gonna take. I think Miami. I think they did their due diligence, and Tua talked to specialists all over the place. That the line is, if you're over a touchdown, I would take Pittsburgh. I don't know. I'm going to pick Miami, but it'll be an interesting game to see. The thing you're looking at here is which Tua do we get and how it all plays out.
All right. Our last matchup before we get on out of here, we do have to do the Wheel of Death because, Nikki, you've missed like 2 punishments. So the Bears and the Patriots for Monday night. Patriots coming in 8-point favor. The over-under is 40.
Some low over-unders this week.
I'm taking the under on this one.
Take the under, but give me the Patriots to cover. Yes.
All right.
Give me the Patriots. Although I like 40 points, man. I bet New England's defense scores 2 touchdowns. I like the over on this one.
Okay. Those have been the matchups in our lines this week. The matchups courtesy of DraftKings.com. Make sure to get your DFS and fantasy lineups in. Well, we've got about 4 minutes left. Let's do our Wheel of Death.
Yay.
Nikki, we'll just kind of compile like the last 2.
Great.
You can do your punishments next week. How about that?
There you go.
Great.
Is that okay?
Maybe like a shot and a jersey and pressing gloves. Just I'll do them all, I guess.
All right, I'll do them all one weekend. All right. There we go. Profess your love yet again.
I think Wig Weekend needs to be had. We've done Profess Your Love.
Okay. Yeah, it's been too much on Profess Your Love.
Yeah.
We'll do Wig Weekend next week.
Wig Weekend.
All right.
I like that one.
All right, I like that
Yes. I hope I lose.
Okay.
It's Halloween, right?
Oh, yeah.
A wig. Why not?
Let's do this. We'll do Wig Weekend for everybody. Let's say if you guys got costumes, let's all dress up for the show.
Okay.
I like it.
Let's do that. All right, everybody. That's been another edition of Channelside Bets. Make sure to go to Channelside Sports on YouTube and hit that notification and subscribe button to get all your notifications on when our new episodes come out, which is every Sunday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you guys have a great week this week as well. Get your lineups in accordingly. You've got about 30 minutes or so before the kickoff starts. So for myself, Nikki, and Chip, we will see you guys next week on Channelside Bets.
Go Falcons.
Go Giants.